Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Archangel Michael. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with Living in Truth, and group number 2 on the right with Earned Success. As always, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box, and you'll also be able to find there the links to my store, Etsy Spiritualistic, and if you'd like a personal session with me, Reiki, Astrology, Tarot, Channeling, etc., you can find all of that in the description box below, as well as all of the decks you see used in this reading and many others on my channel, crystal jewelry that I make, and other tools that are handmade by me in order to assist you on your spiritual journey. I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Archangel Michael, and you selected the first group with the Living in Truth card. Allow me to tap in with the energy, open up my channel. Group number 1, Archangel Michael would like you to know that you are being led, you are being guided into a direction that's not going to surprise you. This is something that you would say is very much you, actually. And right now, you're being given different opportunities to explore your Dharma, the way that you would like your life to look every single day. You're giving opportunities to step out of some inner work you've been doing and into some transformation. Now, Archangel Michael is aware that some of the things around you don't look the way that you expected them to, and that's okay. But there is also this acknowledgement of you living in love, you continually being devoted to your spirituality, unconditional love, compassion, empathy, and not for a moment trying to force yourself onto what you think you want or where you think you're going, rather following your intuition, living in divine surrender, and also honoring the truth as well as your truth. Archangel Michael would like to let you know, group number 1, that you are headed down a road that you might surprise yourself by finding out that you are already on, meaning that there's a path you've been waiting to take, but it seems that you're already on it. And there seems to be this shift of perspective, but it's not something where your perspective is supposed to shift now. It's something where you already have the perspective necessary to get you to where you're going. And there's something here about the vantage point from the top. You're able to see your current vantage point, and you're able to see the path that you're on. But that perspective from the top, well, it's going to take a climb to the summit. Archangel Michael would like for you to know that you are a lot closer to that summit than you think. And there is also this energy of ancient truth, ancient knowledge, ancient friends, perhaps for some of you that are coming through. So, Archangel Michael would like to let you know that he has guided you through many of your lifetimes. He has guided you through this lifetime. He's guided you through your spiritual journey in a lot of different ways. In the moments where you were there with him every day, the moments where you were not with him at all, he was still there with you. And Archangel Michael also would like to come through and wrap the angel wings around you, giving you a nice big hug. And when you come out, you will notice that there is something that has shifted. They're showing me Cinderella, where she kind of spins around after the fairy godmother shows up and she goes from rags to wearing a beautiful dress. There is something here where Archangel Michael's giving you a hug, and there will be some sort of transformative energy when you are stepping out of this. So keep an eye out for these things, and remember that everything goes the way it was always meant to, even the aspects that have to do with your own free will. And so continue to have love and faith, and also remember a time in your life that was really transformational for you spiritually. This energy, this situation might be over, but the transformation from it is everlasting. There is something here that is connecting these two dots, and Archangel Michael doesn't want to get too specific for you right now because there's a bit of an energy that is trying to release itself from your heart chakra right now. And Archangel Michael also would like for you to focus on enjoying and living your everyday life in the present moment in the best way that you can. He sees how much you do, how much you care, how hard you work, how much you try behind the scenes. Archangel Michael sees the moments that you spend in meditation and the moments that you don't. Archangel Michael sees the moments that you do self-care and shadow work and the moments that you don't. And Archangel Michael would like to let you know that your effort in every area, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, doesn't go unnoticed. And this is going to wrap back around to you noticing yourself. You learned how to put yourself first. You learned how to honor yourself. You learned how to honor your spiritual truth. And then you created something from that, which is beautiful. And Archangel Michael does want you to know that this is not that you need to learn how to take care of yourself better again, because you have already mastered this. But what Archangel Michael does want to draw to your attention, group number 1, is the fact that you are being called at this point in time to appreciate all the work that you've done on yourself. Not just to do it, not just to love yourself, not just to take care of yourself, not just to put yourself first, but now to appreciate yourself for doing all of this in a way where you do continue to put your spirituality first, in a way where you do continue to stay self-focused and self-centered, because that is the quickest way to higher consciousness, to more expanded, evolved consciousness, meaning source, oneness. So when you focus on your individual self and you introspect and you let that tap you in with the oneness, that's beautiful. So in this way, Archangel Michael would like to let you know that it's going to be important for you to continue to focus on yourself. And the version of you that you are when interacting with others, that is you intervening on behalf of the divine. Now, group number 1, you earned your wings a very long time ago. Some of you are earth angels, some of you resonate with that, some of you don't. Some of you are just beautiful human beings with beautiful love in your heart, a lot of compassion, a lot of devotion to the divine, to source, to love, to light, to God, to spirit, whatever it is. However you spiritual, when you spiritual, group number 1, Archangel Michael wants to tell you it's beautiful. And devotion like yours, it's very rare, it's hard to come by. And this does not mean that you don't get to experience normalcy of life, but there is a little bit of an energy here that normalcy in life to others and normalcy in life to you might look very different. Meaning the foundation that you will need to sustain your devotion and continue to move forward with your life, the foundation needs to be a bit stronger. It needs to be a bit zanier. It needs to be a bit more eccentric. It needs to be a bit stronger, bigger, deeper. And because it requires more, you might feel as though sometimes, like every time you get close to freedom, you find yourself getting stung. And Archangel Michael would like to let you know that now is a wonderful, beautiful time to start documenting your thoughts, your feelings, your narrative, whether it's make-believe or spiritual channeling or just your regular stream of consciousness from your human brain's intellectual perspective, to begin to write down your truth, to live in your truth, not just because what you script manifests, not in a way where you want to go to Monaco this upcoming summer, so you're writing down, oh yes, I'm going to Monaco. Not like manifestation techniques like this, although you can. It's not to dismiss that or tell you not to do that. Rather, what is being encouraged for you is just to write out your authentic truth, whatever it is, wherever it comes from, just a plain channeling of self, your human self and your higher self, the versions of you along the way, versions of you feel today that maybe you didn't feel yesterday and won't feel tomorrow. Because while you are working on other things, you are being called to identify your truth. Not in just a spiritual sense where you close your eyes, perhaps meditate, perhaps introvert, perhaps do self-Reiki and utilize breath work, which are all beautiful, amazing, very productive practices. But it's being encouraged for you right now to literally just let it all out. Let the humanness out. Write down what you genuinely feel, not what it is that is coming up and you are processing. Allow yourself to, for the first time in a very, very, very long time, group number 1, try to see something not from the perspective of the earth and the trees and Mother Nature, and not from the perspective of source, evolved consciousness, cosmic consciousness, oneness, and this might be actually uncomfortable for you, group number 1. And it's not because you don't know what your own truth is, it's because you've done so much work to evolve in consciousness. It's because you pay attention to your body and you treat your body like a spiritual being. You treat everyone around you like their God, like their source, like their spirit. And because of this, you have experienced beautiful things in this life. And so Archangel Michael would like for you to ground a little bit more in your humanity at this point in time, in ways where maybe there are some things that aren't even as deep as your inner child. Maybe they're not even as deep as your inner teenager. Maybe they're not as deep as a wound. Maybe it's not as deep as your spiritual self or anything like this. It's literally just what is on the surface. What are you feeling today and why? To kind of allow that surface level energy, of course not to permeate your consciousness and your decisions in life, but to just kind of streamline it out onto a page or onto a document so that you can be aware of the transitions that are occurring for you during this evolution. Because you'll notice that if you were to journal in the beginning of your journey, say 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you were to journal halfway through then and now, and journal now, you'll notice that sure, the things around you shift as you evolve, and your focus is on you and evolving. The focus is on evolution and being kinder and compassionate and more in the truth. But the narrative of the human being that's experiencing these things, almost your autobiography essence, is missing as well. Group number 1, you channel source, you channel your higher self, you channel the energies of the great spirits or the great spirit all of the time in everything that you do. When you consume food, you check in with source. When you connect with someone, you channel source. When you go about your day, you channel source. You have been growing, shifting, evolving, changing very, very, very rapidly because of this, to the point where your emotions have been evolving so much. Your mental perspective, it's been evolving so much. Your narrative has been evolving so much. The way that you go about your day, what you want in your life, it's been evolving so much because you've been channeling source through it. And you have been like a jet that has taken off. And this evolution, it's beautiful. It's been recycling you into the best version of you, into source, into your most divine self. And it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. And so at this point in time, Archangel Michael is asking you to put your humanity from today, from your current perspective, onto a page. Look at it. There's no need to overanalyze it, but you might be curious later. Because it's not just that you need to mature in every way and evolve in every way and grow in every way, because you're more than a self-development project. You're perfect the way that you are. And while you know that there's still always room to evolve, grow, and improve for everything and everyone all the time, the universe is infinitely expanding and evolving, still it is conscious and still it is perfect. And so, because the energies of your life, of your human template, they've been evolving so much, they've been recycling so fast, right now you're being called to notate where you are right now. Because it's not who you were last week, and it's not who you were last year, and it's not who you were years ago, and also it might not be who you are tomorrow or next year or the year after that. So with living in truth, it's like you live in the truth so much that your truth can sometimes get washed away because it's always evolving and growing. And while this is beautiful, and your evolution is not being called to stop in any way, shape, or form, Archangel Michael would like for you to, yes, introspect, but literally, he's saying like outrospect, extrospect. I don't think that's even a word, but rather than introspecting, like bring it into your physical reality, not to manifest, you know, what it is that's going on in your internal state, but to observe it from the external perspective of you, not to see yourself from the external perspective where what is outside of you is your body, but where you as your body are observing the story written on a paper, written in a document that is outside of you. To give yourself one more dimension's reach of your experience, which deserves to be honored too. And this is the peace that you have been seeking. And of course, it has to come from you first. I'd like to pull just a few cards for you. Group number 1 from Archangel Michael. There's something here about you receiving a heads up about something, okay? About some sort of connection or community or collaboration in your life. This is going to be something that you are being called to hold back on until you have completed the exercise that was aforementioned to you. Now, here's the reason, okay? Now, we're not telling you what to do. This is simply a channeled message to you. It's advice. It's being gentle. It's being loving. It's being grateful for you, seeing you as you are, perfect, okay? But the reason is because there are some things around you where, you know, they fit your perfectly human, nuanced self. But the version of you that you are growing into, the version of you that you strive to be, the consciousness that you have, they don't fit that. And while this consciousness that you have, this evolved perspective that you have, it's sourcing its way through your body, permeating into your life, you're aware that the things around you right now, they're transitory, as they've always been. You've kind of been used to things showing up and then leaving, showing up and then leaving, because you evolve very quickly. So things pass through very quickly because you're not stuck on the same pattern, you're not stuck on the same cycle, you're not stuck on the same lessons for years or even months. And so there is almost this detachment that you have permanently had for a very long time that is beautiful and very divine. This energy of seeing through everything, seeing the source in everything, seeing the divine in everything, seeing source, the great spirit, seeing spirit, seeing God, seeing the universe in everything. So much so that, yes, your consciousness is in divine bliss. It has been for a long time. Yes, your heart, it's in divine bliss, Ananda. It has been for a long time. Your consciousness, your perspective, it is beautiful. It is that of source. And Archangel Michael also would like to let you know that your identity as a human matters. The way that you feel, the things that you're grateful for, because they're the things that you want to be grateful for, not just being grateful for what's in front of you. It seems as though some of these things have kind of been neutralized a little bit. And this is why you're being called to bring some of this just good old-fashioned grounded humanity into it. You're not being called to hurt yourself. You're not being called to devolve. You're not being called to... It's almost like the sense of you're very, very, very grounded and very, very, very spiritual. And those energies, say you're working with a circle. There is a bit of a portal on one end and a bit of a portal on the other end. And so they're asking you to open up that bridge in between each a little bit. And not saying that from a chakra perspective, any of them are more or less open. They're perfectly balanced. What we're seeing here is that because you have mastered your mind, because you have mastered your emotions, because you have created stability in your life, you don't want anything anymore. You don't feel anything other than truth and beauty. You don't perceive anything other than truth and beauty and source and love and God and universe anymore. And this is beautiful. And Archangel Michael is letting you know that you're going to make a beautiful impact in this world. But this is going to start, first and foremost, by you taking a look at the things that are around you right now, that honor where you are right now, not where you've been, not where you're going, the things around you that you're detached from, because they're transitory, because you see them as source in one manifestation, and you're aware, perhaps already, that you will have a different manifestation of source in front of your face, replacing the one that's already there. No big deal. And so, you are being called to take a look at the way that you behave towards yourself and others, to see where it is that your discipline has allowed you to kind of deviate not from your own path, but from your authentic connections with others. Because you might be noticing that your ability to stay detached from the physical world and in connection with the universe, in connection with Source, it might be causing you difficulty when it comes to connecting with others, when it comes to relating with others, when it comes to putting things where they go, putting things where they belong. Because everything is perfect and everything belongs everywhere, and so it almost matters less. And it's not that you're ungrounded either, because we have this energy that your consciousness, it's perfectly evolved. You've been at a place where others spend lifetimes trying to reach for a long time. And you've also cultivated a material reality around you that is beautiful. But it's time for you to paint the canvas once more in your physical life. And so Archangel Michael wants you to take a look at you, and rather than letting yourself surrender entirely to the universe, put the paintbrush in your hand. And it's okay if you know that you'll make another painting with another canvas after that. But don't let that stop you from not caring whether or not you paint a canvas today. Just because you will grow and evolve out of where you are today does not mean that what you have to offer right now will be null and void and irrelevant once you evolve out of that. Because what it is that you have to offer, what it is that you create, it's telling a story, it's telling your journey. Think about the discography of your favorite artist. Think about the collections of all of the works of your favorite artist. Think about the way that they tell a story that that artist didn't even know they were painting. Not the one that they intended to tell, but the one that's really behind it. You thrive from the story that's really behind it. And so when it comes to what it is that you're trying to say, not what it is that you're really saying, that is the part that is nuanced, that is the part that changes and grows and evolves, that is the part that has your decision making in it as a perfectly imperfect human. And so there is this energy here of yourself being missed. Right now you're being missed by those around you, that by the people, by the communities, by the collaborations, by the physical opportunities. It's like, where are you? You're floating out in the ether. Where are you? You're connected with Source. Where are you? You're one with the earth. Where are you? You are, well, somewhere you won't be for very long. There's this question of trying to catch up with you. But it's because you are evolving so fast. And so group number one, Archangel Michael wants to say to you, rather than you not evolving as quickly or waiting for something to evolve at the same rate, at the same time, in the same place as you, rather document where you are right now. Let it be perfect today and imperfect tomorrow, or even let it be imperfect today and even less perfect tomorrow, because you deserve to live the life of your dreams. And when you get there, it will take time. When you do arrive, you won't be the version of you any longer where that was your dream, because you've evolved through it. So allow yourself to drink the present moment, because you live the life that you used to want. You grew into who you wanted to become. That doesn't mean that you're not still going anywhere, but because you don't currently have any permanent goals other than evolving, other than connecting more deeply with Source, with light, with God, with the universe, with spirit, you are evolving very quickly. You are living the life of your dreams without even realizing it. You are manifesting your reality in a way that's literal divine perfection, and you're looking at still what's next. So while the things around you and within you are transitory and you're seeing them from a higher perspective, and you are grounded enough to be able to put these pieces together, you're grounded enough to be able to be fully in the present moment, there's one piece that's missing, and it's that narrative. It's that, perhaps what you would perceive as that messy narrative behind it all. It is that Mars energy. It is that solar energy. It is that whisper of hope when everything is dark. It is that it's that messiness. It's the chaos. It is the inertia. It is the entropy. It is the humanity of your experience. Archangel Michael would like to remind you, group number 1, that you are a star and that you're missed right now. You're very deeply missed, because it always seems that you, in consciousness, you've evolved out of where you are a very long time ago. And you've been working in order to keep up in your physical life. You meditate, you receive the next blueprint, and so you get to work. And the next day you meditate, you receive the next blueprint, and you get to work again. And Archangel Michael wants to let you know that it's okay for you to put the paper down. Go outside your house and roll around in some dirt and laugh and make some mistakes and be human and be joyful and be young. This is where you connect the best with others, but it's also something that you have evolved out of. So allow the nuance to come back through. Allow yourself to work. Listen to this, group 1. Allow yourself to work through your ego again, because your ego is your friend. If you're being egotistical, that's not beautiful, but you're not. Let yourself explore where your ego is and has been for a long time. Allow yourself to work through your solar plexus. Allow yourself to work through your throat chakra and allow it to be Martian. Allow it to be fiery. Allow it to be chaotic. Allow it to be very impulsive and instantaneous and not thought out, rational, or responsible at all whatsoever. Not because that's not who you are, not because it's anything other than there are 3 stages, 3 dimensions of this physical reality. There is creation, there is sustaining, and there is destruction. And so you're being called to embody your fire energy, your destruction energy. And this isn't because you're called to destroy anything around you or yourself at all, but rather it's because you deserve to tell the nuance of your story. You deserve to live the nuance of your story, not just in a way where you stay so grounded that you are one with Earth, or you're so connected that you are one with everything. Because at the end of the day, everything is, and this has been your consciousness for a very long time, and Archangel Michael's letting you know that this isn't wrong or bad. You're going to continue to evolve in this way. But as you do, remember the little bits and pieces of you that are there, that are maybe asking to be seen, because it's not work for you to do. It's fun for you to have. This Earth is a giant playground, and you take on so much responsibility. You have been the adult chaperone on a child's playground for a very long time now. So why don't you go swing by the monkey bars? Why don't you go slide down the slide? Why don't you write down your story? Go play freeze tag. Make up a story that has absolutely no benefit to yourself or humanity at all whatsoever. Because surprisingly to you, it will. That was the piece that was missing. Group number 1, that is your channeled message from Archangel Michael. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe with this video, with my channel, with other videos. It helps me a lot. And if you're interested in any of these decks used in today's reading, my other readings on my channel, or a personal session with me, Zodiac hoodies, Zodiac jewelry, crystals, crystal jewelry, journals, books, tons of handmade goodies, straight from me to you. You can find all of that on my store. It's going to be in the description box. Etsy at Spiritualistic. You'll be able to find all my goodies. My books, they're available on my store. They're available on Amazon. They're available at Barnes & Noble. So basically, If you search spiritualistic, you'll find me there. So thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the support. I'm grateful for you. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Archangel Michael, and you selected the second group with the Earned Success card. The first thing I'm hearing, group 2, is that it is your turn. You're going to experience something really exciting in your life, something that's going to make you really want to be present, and something that's going to allow you to feel like you are expressing your unique individuality. Archangel Michael is aware that you have been working really hard for a really long time, all of the time, and also that you have been trying to keep yourself from burning out in ways that honor where you are, and also in ways that progress you forward at the same time. There is a little bit of this energy here of defensiveness, and a little bit of this vibe here of you having mastered something that almost you feel as though you are trying to get people to pay attention to the fact that you have mastered something, or you see through something. There seems to be a lot of misinformation, a lot of uncertified, unprecedented, unproven, undeserved information and attention out there. And there seems to be something here where you are certified, you are experienced, you have expertise, you know what you're doing, you learned it, you lived it, you've helped others through it. And so there's an energy here of you feeling as though you have so much to offer and nowhere to put this. And so Archangel Michael would like to let you know at this point in time that right now it's time for you to breathe. Right now it's time for you to rest and receive. You are well aware that you have earned all of the success in your life. You're also well aware that you have earned more than the success that you have achieved. And you are also at a place where you are trying to honor yourself and stay on top of what you need to do. Archangel Michael would like to remind you, group number 2, that just because you have the answer to a problem doesn't mean that people want their problem solved. Many are very comfortable having a problem and being aware of that so they can complain. Or they're comfortable with their problem pretending that that's not the problem. You're going to notice, group number 2, that for yourself, the problem that you are pretending is not a problem, or the problem that you are maybe not wanting to fix, is how hard you're working, how much you're doing. There's a little bit of this energy of you feeling like when you have a lot of energy, you want to go live your life. And when you step into your responsibilities or what it is you have to do, it drains you immediately. Almost as though your energy, your motivation, it is, in a sense, fighting back, showing you what it is that you can be doing, what you will love doing, versus what it is that you feel like you have to do. And now, you might love what it is that you do. You might love what is required of you. You might love what is expected of you. You might love your responsibilities. But Archangel Michael is showing me an example of 2 parents with a child, and when the mother hands the child to the father to take a shower, it's considered a break. But when the father has the child for an hour going to the park, it's considered babysitting. So there's a little bit of this energy here where you are in, hopefully an analogy of the situation, but there's something where you are looking at something where you have more than a full-time job. You have your life committed, devoted to something, and you're not getting the credit. You're also not getting anything out of it. You are simply letting yourself melt into something that is not giving back to you, and you're not receiving credit for it. And there are energies around you that are benefiting from you overgiving. And so Archangel Michael wants to tell you that you are protected. His sword of truth sees through all. The universe sees through all. You see through all. And because of what you see around you, you might be telling yourself, if only I could do more. If only I could go harder. If only I could do better. If only I could grow a little more. If only, because The problem here is not the fact that you have a problem. The problem here is that you keep trying to find a problem. Not because you have not put in the hard work, not because you need a problem to fix, but because you might feel as though you want to go run through a field of flowers. But instead, you really have some things that really you should be doing and no one else will help you out with them, and so it's your responsibility. And so at the end of the day, this is the analogy of this mother who doesn't get to have a life of her own because the father does. There's this energy of it's almost like giving classism, okay? And this can be in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of giving someone working their entire life to make a rich person richer, instead of someone working and then them being able to climb the ladder and change their financial class or their socioeconomic class or get a raise or something like this. It's giving you are aware that in some way, shape, or form you have earned success in this life, and you're also in some way, shape, or form, consciously or unconsciously, enabling some sort of system that is oppressive to you. And you're also in some way, shape, or form doing this because you believe that feeding into this oppressive system will take you out of this oppressive system. So Archangel Michael, group number 2, lovingly and gently, would like to let you know that it's your turn now. You are not like them, and you know this. And you know what you are. You know what you've mastered. You know the amount of time you've spent studying something. You know what it is you've been through. You know the degrees, the documents, the certifications that are on your wall. You know what you're talking about. This is not new. This is not a hobby. This is not 1 year old. This is not 5-year old. This is something you've devoted your entire life to. This is something you've worked at your whole life. It's something you've learned your whole life. You are a top expert in this field. You know exactly what you're doing, yet because you are best at doing the dishes, then the person there that should, would, could be helping you out rather is saying, well, you know, you're better at it than I am anyway. This is weaponized incompetence. And now you might not have such a clean-cut, dry partner system, a clean-cut, dry coworker, a clean-cut, dry equality system like this, or lack of equality system like this in your life. This can be something where you are giving too much energy focusing on your job or your body or your nutrients or exercising, and you're fighting off burnout. And so group 2, Archangel Michael would like to come in and let you know that I'm hearing you're being baptized. I don't mean that in a religious or dogmatic way at all whatsoever. I'm receiving a vision of Archangel Michael taking his sword and like gently, lovingly tapping it on your forehead, almost like a knighting thing, or like tapping it to your pineal gland so that you can see. And it's giving the energy of baptism, of renewal, of cleansing. And again, I don't mean that in a religious or dogmatic way. You can take it that way if that resonates with you. That's not how I'm interpreting it, but this is for you. So Archangel Michael would like to let you know that the world before you is about to change. What you see is going to be different. Your life is going to look very different in a lot of different ways than it does right now. And the first step is actually going to be doing with all of that energy what it is that you want to do with all of that energy. And at first you might feel a bit backwards. It might be a bit uncomfortable. You have all of this motivation and maybe a pile of dishes. And so instead of getting up and using that motivation to do what you want to do, to paint, to go for a run, to start a business, to go outside and lay on the ground, rather you take that energy and you use it towards the dishes. And instead of having 3 hours worth of energy of running, you could have 15 minutes worth of energy to do the dishes and then add to your burnout. When in reality, there is someone else who can do those dishes. And this doesn't have to be physical. Maybe you're like me, you live alone, you have to do your dishes when you have to do your dishes. You know, it's how it works. But there are things in this life where you don't have to carry all the slack. You can let, yes, not just the universe pick up some slack, not just Archangel Michael pick up some slack, but I'm hearing, let those that are benefiting from your oppression pick up the slack. If you are working 10 jobs with the benefits of one, you will be hard to replace. They will see how much you've been doing. And this isn't about showing anyone anything. This is about the success that you've earned. You can take those skills and you can get a higher level job that pays you more, or you get more days off with a better, more respectable title that allows you to live your life in a way that you deserve. And again, do not feel guilty or uncomfortable, or if you do, work on it gently, lovingly, when more energy comes in, when more money comes in, when more opportunities come in, when you get motivation to do something fun, and you finally make the choice to say, yeah, I'm going to do that something fun. Not just having an idea and saying, wow, that would be nice, except I have to blank. Because whatever this child is you're tending to, whatever this business is you're tending to, whatever these proverbial dishes are in your life, this is not something that you are working on alone. And this is a little bit of you taking accountability for things that are not your responsibility, and others not taking accountability for things that are, by definition, their job. And so in some way, shape, or form, Archangel Michael wants to tell you that you're being called to take a step back. You have already earned your success in life. You have already become successful, but you have also reached a cap of where you're comfortable. Say you're comfortable only having a certain job title because that's what you've always seen. You worked really, really hard to get there. And so when you have another job title that is 3 positions above where you are, well, that's the work that you do. That's the expertise that you have. You do more than that responsibility every day of your life, but that title for some reason makes you uncomfortable. Perhaps you've been working on your finances for a long time, and so when you pay yourself first, when you allow yourself to experience that money, having more than a certain amount in your bank account makes you uncomfortable. Maybe this is your free time. Maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe it's noon. And maybe instead of being at work, you are out enjoying time with your family, your friends, with nature. And it might feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. It's not meant to be uncomfortable, and that's a red flag, and so you're not supposed to do it. It's supposed to be uncomfortable because that's growth. There are times when discomfort is appropriate and times where discomfort is not appropriate. And right now you are uncomfortable doing things that are oppressive to you. Archangel Michael would rather you be uncomfortable doing things that are liberating for you. Group number 2, you do have a beautiful, beautiful surprise and treasure on its way for you. There seems to be a chapter of life that you have been working towards for a very long time that you maybe get to experience in little doses. This energy is so prevalent in your energy field that it's starting to actually gift the people around you. You'll notice that, sure, you get your time, and while you're working, the literal people in your close vicinity, all of a sudden they're receiving these opportunities that seem to be exactly the ones you're working for. And this is because these are in your energy field. Not because someone else's blessing belongs to you, not because your blessing belongs to someone else, not like this, but because you've created a beautiful tornado, if you will, a strong electromagnetic field of this energy. And it's time that in order for you to get outside, you have to get up, push that chair in, step away from your desk, and walk out the door. In order for you to travel, you have to buy a plane ticket. In order for you to receive an opportunity, you have to say yes when the opportunity presents itself. And so, group number 2 right now, Archangel Michael wants you to practice discomfort in the ways that you normally wouldn't. And to say no to discomfort in the ways where you would normally say yes. Again, not in a way that neglects your responsibilities, like if you were the only one in your house that does dishes, not because there's no one else there that can, but because you live alone. That is a responsibility to do. But if you live with a bunch of roommates or a partner and you are the disher, you're the one that does the dishes, you are the dish cleaning person, don't do them. It's not your job. You've done more than your fair share. So much so that it's oppressed you and actually benefited those around you. And you've seen this. So group 2, I'm hearing the song That's Just the Way We Roll by the Jonas Brothers. And I'm also hearing the song Mean by Madeline the Person. And so there's this dynamic coming through of you are not like the people who are benefiting from your oppression. You are not like the people who are weaponizing their ignorance or their lack of accountability. But what you are is a free spirit that deserves to express that. What you are is someone who would take that resource and make something beautiful and abundant and humanitarian with it. And so, group 2, you have earned this success. It is responsible for the universe to give you these blessings. And so, it's going to ask you to be big and brave and stand up and walk away. Or to be brave and let yourself, I'm hearing the phrase F around and find out, in a good way. You are going to be shown what your life is going to look like, and do not mistake this for what it should look like or what it can look like. It's what it will look like, and it's going to happen very soon. There's something or someone that's going to knock on your door and surprise you, and when it does, Archangel Michael wants you to be prepared. The reason for this is because it's going to make you uncomfortable, but it's going to be the good kind of uncomfortable. The kind of uncomfortable that awakens a part of you that you've been knowingly missing out on. Archangel Michael would like to remind you that you are beautiful the way that you are. And that, again, you know what you're doing. You have the expertise. You are an expert in your field. You know exactly what you're doing. You're not speculating. You've studied, you've proven, you have the degrees, you have the certificates, you have the receipt. You know exactly what you're doing. It's not guesswork. And so because of that, sure, you can take up all the busy work and it'll be done exactly correct. And because it'll be done exactly correctly, then someone else will benefit off it and you'll just stay working. It's giving Cinderella, group 2. And so in that vein, impossible things happen every day. And group 2, you don't ask for help. You don't ask for others to take accountability. You don't ask for what is fair. You are happy to show up and do it right because you know you're helping others. But it's so much so that you are losing yourself in the process. And so Archangel Michael would like to tell you, group number 2, I'm receiving this is going to be a new message for you, okay? Because you know this, okay? Drawing awareness to the battle that you've been through. I'm hearing 2 songs. I'm hearing The Climb by Miley Cyrus, and I'm also hearing So Small by Carrie Underwood. Sometimes that mountain that you've been climbing is just a grain of sand. And sometimes there's always going to be another mountain. You're always going to want to make it move. We've got 77 coming out, okay? The divine is all over your situation right now, and something's about to flip on its head, so don't worry. Okay, you're about to experience a renewal in your life and a close to a cycle that has had you oppressed for a very long time. There's something here about knowing that you've been just watched. Knowing that you have been watched like Cinderella. Knowing that you have just been having eyes on you passively, copying you, watching you, benefiting from your oppression. But at the same time, you're also aware that you don't want to be like them, and so they're not doing, so you should, right? There's a little bit of this opportunity here for you to change your life and bring others with you, and you're being encouraged at this time not to bring them with you. And it's not out of spite, not out of lack of kindness and compassion and charity, but rather because you deserve to eat. Now, if those around you are full all of the time and they're being gluttonous, when you receive 1 serving of rice, you should eat that serving of rice, and it will get you strength, and it will get you up, and it will get you moving so that you can go collect your next meal, so that you can go grow from that. You can plant that rice, you can harvest that rice, you can have the energy to go do something else. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. We have 155. We have 77. Okay. We have beautiful numbers coming out. 7 and 12. These are all divine numbers. The divine is all over the situation, group 2. And we even have 14. Archangel Michael would like for you to know that You deserve to experience what it is that you've worked for. But because you've been working so hard, you associated the results with those who were oppressing you. You associated the results of that with something bad. And you don't want to be like that, even though you know you deserve it. You're working towards something that you deserve by sustaining that system of oppression. And Archangel Michael wants to tell you that your divinity doesn't go unseen. Your expertise doesn't go unseen. That's the reason for this. Because when this flips inside out, it's going to redistribute everything. You hold a lot of energy, you hold a lot of power, and you, for that reason, don't wish to use it. You, for that reason, attempt to do things the right way, the moral way, the just way, and this is always going to be what will fill your cup and renew you. But Archangel Michael also would like to let you know that you deserve for the truth to be seen. It will be put on blast. And you're going to experience a renewal of your life, and you're going to feel like you got another lease on life. You're not going to look back and wish that you were where you are today. You're going to look back and feel sorry for yourself because that opportunity didn't come in earlier, or because you thought it was normal, or because you continued to perpetuate that cycle, because you continued to go back even though you knew better, but they were promising you different. Archangel Michael would like for you to know that you are about to see the world from a new perspective. And this is going to be one where you fly high above your oppressors. You will know deep in your heart when you experience this that you earned it, that you deserve it, and that you're not like them. You are the main character of your life. And you're the main character of many lives around you as well, and that's also part of the reason for this. The movie is called Cinderella. It's always been about Cinderella. And while I'm not perpetuating some of the things that were kind of normalized in that story, in that movie, there is something to be said about the fact that there is riot when things are fair. There's riot when things are just. There's riot when someone has to take accountability for themselves, when they have to pick up the pieces. And here you are working with a smile. Holes in your clothes, perhaps. Working overtime with no pay, perhaps. Here you are taking scraps off a table of someone whose food you planted and harvested and bought and cooked and prepared and set the table. So, that song Mean by Madeline the Person is coming in again. One thing I like about me is I'm nothing like you and I never will be. Someone who loves how it sounds when they're screaming and they're not telling the truth, they're just being mean. And so there's something here about your truth. The truth whispers. And that's why you feel like you haven't been heard. Kindness isn't plastered all over a wall. That's why you've not wanted to be seen. But in that moment where you are put on that stage, in that moment where you are given that opportunity, in that moment where you say, you know, I'm not gonna clean up after you. I'm not gonna take accountability, responsibility for something that's not mine. I'm not going to let you ruin my life every day so that you can get fat and happy doing nothing. The moment that you choose to disengage from that cycle will be the moment that you feel liberated, and it will also be the moment when the magic re-enters your life. Archangel Michael wants to let you know that your life has barely breached the surface of the magic that can be possible, and that your voice deserves to be heard. Archangel Michael would like you to know that in darkness there is light. This is you. You are a channel of peace. Where there is darkness, you bring light. Where there is sadness, you bring joy. Where there is doubt, you bring faith. Where there is despair, you bring hope. And you do not seek to be consoled, you seek to console. You do not seek to be understood, you seek to understand. You do not seek to be loved, you seek to love. You give, now it's time you receive. You forgive, you will be forgiven. And this is going to be something that allows you to move forward because you didn't do anything wrong, except maybe by yourself in trying to do right. And that's not something that is bad. You are good. You are love. You are gentle. You are kind. And therefore, you are about to experience something that is fair and propels you forward so big and so fast that it might make you a little uncomfortable. The tables are turning. Something's getting turned inside out. There's a redistribution. And whatever wreckage that causes to those who are oppressing you is not your responsibility. It's your turn to say thank you to you and to the universe. And it is also your turn to look at what it is that's around you and know that it's enough because it is. Not trust that it's enough even though that's not what you see. Trust that it's good enough because it actually is, not because you're needing to learn how to make it so. You're entering the chapter group number 2 where your life works for you. You don't work for it. The universe works for you. You don't work for it. And you're going to feel free and liberated and see some of those things that you might be a bit starry-eyed about right now and think, oh, maybe in another life, maybe in 20 years. Yeah, maybe one day before I die. Let yourself be surprised. Step away from your discomfort that's oppressive and step towards that discomfort that's expansive. Change your life. There's more than enough external intervention that will come in the moment that you decide. Group number 2, that is your channeled message from Archangel Michael. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. And as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Namaste.